Hey guys, so welcome back to my another video. In this video, I'm going to show you that how we can read the file using a Node.js. And on the furthermore, I'm also going to solve this problem here. The question is here. So basically, here is a data. So what it really says in this question is when this is data. Basically, what we need to do is we need to read the let me make basically we need to read this file and we need to read line by line and we need to grab this data here, this price sold and total cost here, and we need to subtract this and we need to put it right here in the middle. The data basically is going to be numbers here, and we need to write it down in a different the text file as well. That's what we need to do. Okay, so basically this is a really good exercise that how the file system work and also the how the string manipulating works. So this is a really good exercise, guys, so which I'm going to show you how we can do it. Okay, so here I create a file called read.js and which doesn't have anything. Okay, so the first thing, what when we read the file in a node.js, so basically I'm doing this in node.js as I mentioned here, and make sure that you have installed a node.js in your machine. If I go node.v, then it's just my 12.18.3, which I have it here. Okay, so now let's get started to programming here. So the first thing is on Node.js, we have the file system class, and basically it's called fs file system. In fs, we can literally easily can write it, read this file, prop.txt using the fs.get read file sync method, right? There are async version as well, but you can read it easily here. Called here it is, and you can get the text easily with using this function here. If I write down the console log, and if I do here the node, basically I need to write down node plus the file name, which is read.js, which I have it here. Then here it is. It's reading the file, but it's reading as our buffer. So what we need to do is we need to convert this in a UFT 8 character bit, UTF-8. Then if I say it here, so that here it is, the file. All the file has been read and put it right here, right? Here it is. And this is exact file which I have it here. But the problem of this is it's read the file, which is good, but it's not reading by line, right? We need to read this line by line, and we need to grab this data, okay? We need to grab this price sold, and we need to do on find out the net income, basically the price sold minus total cost, and we will get the net income. That's what the question says, I believe. If I go in question, the net income price sold minus total cost. Yep, that's the question says. That's what we need to do. So to make it a little interesting, let's do this as well, this calculations. But this is very straightforward to read the files, right? So now let me create another constant here. So I'll just say that read file location. So I need to grab this the location because I don't want to put it here. So if I do it here, then I can read as well. Okay, looks good so far. So now I will also create the another location called write file location. This is the location or the file name, whatever that it's going to be. I'll write here as an answer. Okay, okay, which we need to do later on. Okay, so here we are reading the file, all the file, but we're not reading by line by line. To read all line by line, we need to add another library module. Basically, this module is called read line. Okay, so basically it helps the file system to read line by line. Okay, it also read by line the console level, but we want this as a file at this time. So how we can use the read line is on here. We can create something called interface. Okay, on interface here, now we need to provide the input type, what type of input you want to read it. But I will tell them I want to read the file system. But you need to create on you can't use this directly, this the text, and you can put it here. You can't use it. text here. The problem is because we need to create as a read stream. So when you create as a stream of this, right? When we create a stream of this, then we could able to read a line by line. So to read a line by line, we create a const the variable here called RL, and it will create an interface of this text, which is okay. So here in RL, now what we need to do is a function called on. But in on, we have a lot of functions like when the file is closed, when what we learn to pause, resume, stuff like that. But we need a line. So each and every specific of the line, we can tell that we could able to read it. So in console log here, if I do a rest here, right? Let me check I can able to print it out or not. Or did I miss something? I don't know. So let me check. Okay, so looks like it doesn't even print. The reason why is basically, let me check here. Here is our reading as a file system, which is good. And we want to read by line. And we create the interface here, which is good, of the file system, which we created here as a read file system. And we are reading line by line, which is okay. And we are printing, oh, we didn't print any res. So we need to print this res. Here res, and in a res, now I need to do this. Now each and every of this document is printing here line by line, right? That's how it's printing. How we know it's printing line by line, we can verify that one too. So now let me do in the middle here. So first thing what I'm going to do is make this little better. To make this little better is, let me put this inside the one function call read. I can put this inside a constant as well. Read uh, what is it's called read file read a prop. I guess that's what the file name called. So let's create this as a function here called read prop, and I'll just call this as a here. Okay, so now it looks much better. So here, how we can do to verify is I can create the counter here. Okay, so counter is going to be the let counter is 0. So whenever it's reading here, calling this function, then I will just increase my counter, and I will print this counter here at the end of this rest, or I'll just print a counter. I don't need to print a rest because we already see it. So if I do it here, so here it is, it's printing up to a line row 0 to 9. Basically it's going to be 10 with the 0, but let's print with the 0 to 9, which is good. So now we know that this is reading a line by line. So the next step is what we need this data right here and right here. But before we do get this data, we don't want the line number 0. So how we can eliminate the line number 0 is we'll just tell that the counter is not 0, then we want to do something. Okay, we want to do something here, right? That's what we can say, that okay, the counter is not 0, then we will tell that okay, we want to do something right here. Okay, that's what we want. So if I do it here, of course the 0 is not going to print it out here. It does not going to print it out, right? Because we eliminate the zeros. Now we eliminate this part. So now we need this data. So we can split using the pipe, because all the data is concatenated using the pipe here, right? Pipe. So now let's eliminate, let's do a split using the pipe, and data is on the rest here. So on here, what we call this is going to be give me the array of this. So I'll just say that our response, whatever you get, the response list, right? So we will split up using something called pipe here. Okay, so here we will get at the data everything in a pipe. And if I counted this one, this is 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So we have a 8 and 7 1. The index number, the data is basically the price sold and the total cost. So what we're gonna do is here the rest list of data of what? 8, right? This is the data, and rest list of 7, which is going to be the total cost. Okay, so this is going to be the total cost, and this is going to be price sold. So now if I print the price sold, and now let's see what is going to print. Can I get a price sold data? Yep, I got a price sold data, which is the last one. What is the data? This is the last one, 180, not 183.1. Here 250K, which is here. 228, everything is here. The last one, then we got it. So the next step is to subtract this guy and this guy, right? But that's what we need, but there are more things to do, such as this is has a quote. We need to remove this quote, and we also need to remove this comma, right? This is on the currency here, which we want to get rid of this quote and want to get rid of this one, right? That's what we want. We want to get rid of this call. So what we need to do is, when you can use a lot of function here, but we can use a replace, and we can use a regex here, regex, right? We can use a regex here. So for regex one, I already have a function here. So basically I found this in the Google. It's a really pretty nice function. I'll just put it right here. And I found this, that for this regex, it will remove the comma. And for this one, it will remove the quote. So if I put this on both of it, and I'll just print only one just to see that it works. So here it is. It removed the comma and it removed the quote as well. Perfect, right? That's what we need. So now we can calculate the net income here, right? Net income, and net income is going to be the price sold. I think it's going to be total cost minus price sold. Yep, that is it. Total cost minus price sold. If I go in quotient here, is a price sold minus total cost. Oh, I did opposite, sorry. The price sold minus total cost. Whatever you sold it and whatever is going to cost it, right? So price sold minus total cost. Price sold is 8. Let me check the price sold is 8. Yes, it is the last one. So now if I go in console log and if I print it out, net income, and if I print it out, here it is. It shows a lot of the numbers here. Some are negative as well, but it's okay. So that's what we get the data. So now our next step is to convert this in currency, and we need to put it right here in the middle, and we need to write it down the another file called answer.txt, and we can write it down there. So the next step is to convert this in currency. How we can convert this in currency? Okay, so here is a pretty nice functions here called international number format, and we could able to convert in a currency here, right? Pretty nice format using the international number currency format, and we can convert this in any international currency, but for now let's convert this in the United States of it. So what we can do is we can shoot the net income, we can convert in dollar, and we can say that we can say the new intl, I believe, dot, what is that format? I guess number format. Yep, that what is, and we need to tell them that the locally is en the US, and here we need to provide two functions. Let me think that I remember it or not. Something called currency, I believe. Yep, the currency is USD, and the type, I guess. I need to verify it first. I think, oh, style, sorry, it was style, and the style is a currency. Okay, looks like I remember. So now if I do a console log here, net income dollar. So now let's see I can able to see it or not. Oh, I can able to see it. The reason why is I forgot one thing here called format, and here when I need to pass the data here, net income. So now it will convert in this one. So now let me check. Go up, and here it is. It's converting in a dollar, which is perfectly fine, right? Which is perfectly fine. It's converting in a dollar here, which is pretty great. So now we want to put this data on right here, and we want to print it out. Okay, so how we can get that data? So first thing is, what we need is we need we already know that this everything is concatenated with the pipe, and we need to get the second last pipe. the location of second last pipe. So how we can get it is basically we can use a res, and we can use the last index of what, of pipe, right? And we want to do subtract 1 because we want to get the second last one. This is not going to be last index 1, this is going to be second last pipe, location, right? This one, the second last pipe location. And if we got this, then on a res, basically res is basically the all the row, each and specific row. So we will use something called substring function, and we'll tell the location where it's going to start from and where it's going to end, which is going to end right here. And on here now we could able to concatenate. So I will use this the pipe here, and here I will use this as a dollar sign. Of course, this is going to be in a variable here called answer maybe. So here is a pipe. We got this now. So here now we will use a pipe here. So now on here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna write it down the answer, which is a net dollar income, and we'll concatenate with a pipe. And I will put this all the code in a GitHub, guys, so you don't have to worry to follow this, I guess. Yeah, I'll put everything there. So I'll just go here. So here is answer. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to print the answers. Okay, so now let me see that I can able to print it out or not. So here it is. Good. Okay, it doesn't print the whole of text. Why? Because let me check. Start with that. The last is this last index of, which is this guy. This guy is supposed to print this net income. Yeah, he's supposed to write it down. This guy as well. I don't know why it doesn't even write it down. What this give me? Oh, because oh, I need to do minus one right here. What? Uh, okay, so now let me check. Here it is, all the data. This is exactly what we need, I guess. Let me check. Uh, yeah, this is the address, and yes, here it is. This guy minus this guy is here, and this guy minus this guy is right here in negative. Here it is, of course, 250k. This guy is here. Okay, everything looks good. So now we just need to write it down, this all the data in our another file. So how are we gonna do that? Okay, so that is our next step, is to write it down file. So I'll create another function called write answers. There are a lot of ways we can use it. We can use the what's called the, we can also use the promise to write it down, right? There are a lot of ways to write the answers, but to write the answers, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create the write answer function here, and we literally write it down to file system. We don't want to use any promises stuff on file system, just to make a life easier. So here we can use something called a write sorry, no, append. So each and every time we could able to append it. So in append file, so basically in append file we need to tell them the where is the location of it. So we already created a variable here called answers, that here. So I'll just pass it here, and here now, and append what we need there. Oh yeah, data, and the what kind of the UFT8 array that we want to write it down. So we need to provide the data. So basically each and every time when you append it, we will get the data here, and here we can write down the format here, UTF UTF-8, right? Okay, so that's what we need. That's what we needed here. Everything looks good. So we just need to append, and here we will get a response here. Basically, this response is going to be the error. Basically, if it has an error, then it will throw it up. So we'll just tell them if it has an error, then yeah, we can throw. If anybody catching on the top, is anybody catching on the top? Uh, Or we can also write it down here, rl dot on error, right? Yeah, but for now, let me throw it here, right here, without throwing. Let me print it out. So now here is what we write it down, our answer. So every time when we got this row, looping on it. Oh yeah, I need to also do one more thing here. Is basically when this counter is zero, it's not zero, then we will do this. But we want the zero to print it out in our file as well. The header, we need a header as well. So if the counter is zero, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do write answer. and here we can use a rest directly. But for here we can't use rest because we have answers here. So that's why we can use the answer, because we concatenate with this doing a calculations and we want to put it out right here. And that's it, guys. That's it. So if I do this guy, then it does write down the answers, and here it is. It's printing everything in one line. Oh, we don't want to print on one line, so now we want the line break, right? Each and every time when we print it out, we need a line break. And to do a line break, there is a module called OS. So we need to use the OS module, and there it's a we can use line break. So if I do require, and we will get this as from OS, and in OS, so basically when it's write it down, the first thing is write it down here. So in OS, basically, if I remember correctly, there's something called EOL. So basically, it's going to do a line break, and every time when you write the answers here, I will do a EOL as well. So if I do node.js read.js here, so here is write it down, but the first is a huge line because we write it down and it's appending. So now if I do it again, it's append again, right? If I do it again, it will append again. So we want to get rid of this text when we append at first time. So how we can do that is basically we need to go each and every time when you call this function, then instead of the file as append, we can use a write file. And in a write file sync, yeah, we can use a write file sync too. In a write file sync, we need to tell the locations of the file. So basically this is going to be a write file location, and we need to tell that what kind of data you want to write down. I'll just say that empty data. Okay, so now that will clear up the text here. If I do it clean, it's clean up already. If I do some bunch of stuff here, right, whatever, so no, if I do this, then it's going to clean up or not. It doesn't clean up. It's supposed to clean up or no, or because I edited it, that's why. If I click it here, yeah, it does. So if I edit it, oh, if you edit it, then it will not clean up. But if I don't save it and open it, yeah, it does, right? So if I delete this and if I save it, now it doesn't have any file here. But if I do it here, it will write it down. So here it is, guys. So that's all what we do. We just read the data line by line, calculate this guy, put it here, right? And yeah, we could read off this dollar as well, what we want, if we want to, and we can use the quote instead of dollar. And that's, I think we can do it as well. So that's how we can read the file and do this work, basically this small project here. And that's all for this video, guys. It's been pretty long video, and I will put this code inside the GitHub, and please let me know if you have any questions. And I'm gonna put a more full stack and more technology tips, tricks on this channel, so please do subscribe. And thank you very much for watching, guys, for this video, and bye for now.